Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Tech Talk. Today we're going to be talking about Linux, first steps, Linux. Christopher will rectify me on that, I'm sure. So this is obviously with Chris and we're going to be looking
Hello everybody.
at the new Linux.
Linux. Yeah, some people call it Linux just to make things more complicated.
Okay, and why do we need this Linux?
Right, okay, now we have mentioned this before in the past. Now, a lot of us will be on Microsoft Windows 10.
Yep.
You are too?
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, back in October, it finished. It became end of life. Now, that means it's not going to die. Well, it might do. But it means that Microsoft are no longer issuing security updates and patches to the operating system to stop hackers getting in.
Okay, so it's less safe because there's no more updates on the security.
That's right, and it's going to get less safe as time goes on because hackers will find ways in. It happens all the time, but a hacker will find a way into a computer and Microsoft will patch it and do it, send an update.
So Windows have created a new bit of software. Is it free?
If you're on Windows 10, now this is the crux. If you're on Windows 10, the upgrade to Windows 11, which is the now current version of Windows, is free.
Good.
Absolutely free. However, if your PC does not meet the new Microsoft basic requirements, it will say, you can't upgrade. And it will not let you upgrade. And it's forcing people who have computers that are not that old, in fact, perfectly good computers, they have to go and buy a new computer or risk getting hacked. And well, they will get hacked and they will end up with viruses on their PC if they stay on 10. So the problem is, if you stay on 10 and you connect your PC to the internet, as time goes on,
more hackers will come in and
you
more at
will
risk.
pick up viruses, people will hack your PC, and it'll become like the older operating systems, like, do you remember Windows 7, Windows XP even, a lot of you will remember. Now, if you fire up a PC, you can still install those operating systems, even though they're long gone dead. There's been an experiment done on YouTube where some guy put Windows 7 on a PC, connected to the internet and didn't do anything. Within 10 minutes, it had picked up viruses, hacked.
Oh.
It was basically destroyed within 10, 15 minutes.
No, which we don't want.
No. I mean, it's not going to be like that straight away, but eventually it will.
This Linux is Linux.
Right, now the
alternative. Is that Windows 11 or is that a completely separate?
Right, now Microsoft are the guys that make the Windows variants, okay? And they pretty much dominate the PC market at the moment. Now, the thing is, Windows 11, which is out now, has a lot of problems as well, a lot of security issues people are not happy with.
What your average Joe blogs like
Your average
me.
Joe blogs like you, if your PC is able to upgrade then, and you're happy with it, fine, carry on. Now the thing is, how I describe the two, you have Windows from Microsoft, then you have Linux, which is open source software. It's created by volunteers over the years, all totally free. And
we like free people, we like free.
Yeah, we like free.
Free and safe.
Free and safe. And over the years, it's progressed and matured, and it's now a operating system that even all of us can use, just like Windows. Back in the day, it was very complicated. You had to type in loads of code to make things work and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just like using Windows.
So how do we get onto that one? Because that sounds good. Easy to use.
Easy to use.
Created by the buffs that's not pushing out through the Microsoft.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean the Linux market share is gaining track quite rapidly now. It's up to 3%. I don't sound a lot, but there's still millions of users. Whereas Microsoft has like 70-80% of the market share of PCs. However, Linux is the most used operating system in the world. If you've got an Android
Wow.
phone, you're running Linux.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot of people know that.
No.
No.
No. Facts are us. Come on, Chris. How do we get this on our...
Right, okay. Now, I'm not going to go through how to install Linux
Okay,
Mint because
okay.
that's quite a long process and YouTube is full of videos. Just Google how to install Linux Mint and there's loads of videos on there that will take you through a process for how to do it. Now, I recommend new users from Windows. The thing with Linux is there must be 100 different flavors of Linux. In the Linux world, they're called distributions.
Okay.
The short word is distro. It's like a Windows version.
Yes.
Like Windows 10, 8,
Yes.
7. There's Linux versions, if you like, but they're all current, and they suit different people.
So if my laptop is like 6, 7, 8 years old and Windows 11 won't support it, will Linux support
Absolutely.
it? So you don't have to all rush out and buy,
No.
PC.
It'll even work on that old PC you got stuffed in a wardrobe somewhere that you haven't used for 10 years because it's too old.
How have you been in my house and seen what's in my wardrobe?
I know what's in your wardrobe, other than the skeletons we keep finding, but other than that. Yeah, so even your old, dusty old thing...
So that's
hasn't been used,
fantastic. That saves us all money, which is, it's
You
about
can bring
security and saving...
you can bring it back to life and give it to the kids. They'll be happy.
Fantastic.
Right, now, where were we? Yes, now Linux.
Going on YouTube,
now the
different
flavour,
variants, flavours.
the flavour of Linux Mint, the version that I recommend for people coming from Windows is called Linux Mint.
Mint.
Mint, as in mint.
Pablo Mint.
Yeah, mint, as in mint. Linux Mint. Now, this particular version of Linux has been designed for people coming from Windows. It's very mature. It's been going for many, many years. A lot of people on the internet say, you should try this, you should try that. This has generally come from people that are a bit more technically minded and they've been using Linux before.
So can I just ask you one quick question?
Yeah, go on.
How do you spell the Linux? Because when they're going on YouTube, as I'm saying it wrong all the time, how do you spell it? So that when they're going on, they know they're looking for the right version of Linux.
Linux, Linux space Mint, Mint.
Linux Mint.
Linux Mint.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Carry on.
that's it.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
keep...
Anyway, Linux Mint, that's the operating system I recommend people opt to install if they're coming away from Windows. Now, there's a few people that it's not suitable for. I'll show you a little screenshot here. There we are, up on screen there. There is gamers who use games that use kernel level anti-cheat. Now, gamers who will know what that means.
All you gamers out there,
Yeah.
I know you're all just, that's me, I'm tuned in.
Gamers who are using games, most of the high-end games these days, a lot of them come with what's called anti-cheat built in. They will not work on Linux because it invades privacy in a big way and Linux won't have it.
Okay.
The other people that cannot use it are users heavily invested in Adobe editing products. Now we're talking about Adobe Photoshop and Adobe, the one for editing videos, Premiere Pro. Now those two, there are alternatives in Linux that work very similar, but if you're heavily, because these Adobe
That's just the
products,
Mint one, the Linux Mint.
any Linux, it won't
Oh,
work on
right,
Linux,
okay.
yeah. The Adobe editing products, they're very expensive, and if you've spent a lot of money and spent the last 20 years learning how to use them, you're not going to want to just throw that away and start learning something new.
So they have to go Windows 11.
Yeah, your only option is to buy yourself a new PC if you can't upgrade, unfortunately. You definitely can't stay on 10 because you won't have a PC for very long.
No.
So unfortunately for these guys, gamers that use anti-label cheat and people heavily invested in Adobe editing programs, Windows 11 is your only choice at this time.
Right.
So this is
I don't know if there's many of, those people out there. So for the average person...
for the average Joe, they may use Adobe Photoshop, to edit photos, but there is a similar program in Mint which is just as good, and it's very similar in its layout, so you'd be able to move to that. Video editing, nah. Premiere Pro is a product on its own. It can't be matched by anything else.
No, it's too specific to what that's,
There is one out there which is gaining a lot of use, which is getting as good as better, but it's not going to touch Adobe Premiere. That's still the king of the editing.
And who was the other one?
Photoshop.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, right. So, so basically, what we're saying is, if you're a gamer that uses anti-cheat in your games, and you're heavily invested in Adobe, then go and watch Coronation Street because it isn't for you. Right, okay. Right, let's assume that you're not one of those.
Yeah.
You're just an average Joe on your PC. You do a little bit of word processing, Microsoft Word, publish your files, spreadsheets.
Yep.
Photography. And of course, the internet, going on the web and looking for stuff, emails.
Yep.
All that, 100% great on Linux. In fact, most of it works better.
Perfect.
Yeah, right. Now, basically what I'm going to show people today is once you've installed Linux Mint, now you may, it might be easy just to get your PC, take it to a PC shop and say, look, can you install Linux Mint on that for me, please?
If you have a go, is it like dangerous if you have a go and you think, I'm just going to Google it, have a look on YouTube and all?
Like anything, you must back up all your data. Data, that means your photos, your documents, anything you've created and saved on your PC. Back it up, save it to a memory pen or a cloud storage if you subscribe to one like Google Drive. Back it all up, because installing an operating system, you can very easily just wipe it completely and lose everything.
Risks,
and once you've done that, your Windows is gone as well, and you're left with an empty box. Which means you've lost your data. So you don't want to do that. So back up your data. If you want to have a go at installing it yourself, go to YouTube, Google how to install Linux Mint, and there's a million videos on there. And they take you through it step by step how to do it. The only thing you'll need is a memory pen to do it.
You can get one of them with a big memory for about 10, 12, 14 euros.
You get them in
local shops.
Any shops, about €5 to €6 actually.
Oh,
an 8 gigabit one, which is fine. That's all you need.
I've got lots of photos. I love taking a photo, so I have one of them, and I've got a big one. But every few months, I just add the extra photos on.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Another thing, keeping your photos on a memory pen, that's not good. Right, okay. Now, when you get your PC back, or you've installed Linux Mint, okay, I'm going to show you what the first thing is you're going to see. Okay, so let's go here, and boom. If we have a look at the PC, this is what you'll be presented with.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, I can sort of...
what we have here, this is the default Linux Mint desktop. Now, it's very familiar to a Windows user. You've got your icons down the bottom. The ones on the left are shortcuts to things that you use a lot.
Yeah.
And the first button there is the same as your start menu.
Perfect.
Okay.
Keep it simple. That's how we like it.
That's it. Now, if you click on the start menu, boom. Oh, missed it. Look. Boom. There. Again, your start menu, very familiar.
Yep.
You've got all your programs that are installed. Incidentally, Linux Mint comes with a whole package of software already installed. So you may not have to do anything. Just off you go. You'll see it's arranged in categories. Like, let's have a look at Office, for example. Office, we have a thing called Linux Base, Linux Calc, Linux Draw. Now, Linux Calc is the alternative for Excel spreadsheets.
Okay, yeah.
And it opens Microsoft. If all your Excel spreadsheets are saved as Excel, no problem. It'll open up on this fine. Brilliant. And you can save it on this fine. Writer.
So they'll all transfer over, absolutely.
Yeah, they're all totally compatible. Office Writer, that's Word.
Yes. Just have to get used to their now terms because
Yeah.
they can't use that.
Simple,
Nobody
yeah.
likes change. Nobody likes
No,
change.
no,
And
no.
when I walk around Consum, if they've changed the aisles, I just go
Oh,
into
don't you? Doesn't that annoy you?
panic.
Do you know why they
panic
do
mode.
that?
Yeah,
I
to
found
make you
out.
buy other things
Yeah,
that you
it's a
don't even
marketing
know.
ploy.
Yes.
Every now and again, you change all the stock around, so people have to look around.
Look around.
Very clever.
Yes.
Very clever.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
But sorry, it's
yeah,
not, nobody likes change, but it's something we've got to get used to.
Yeah. I mean, they do try and make the icons familiar, so you think, oh, that looks like a Word document. That looks like a
Yes.
spreadsheet. So
Yes.
it doesn't take you long.
No.
If you're flipping around, you'll soon figure it out. That's, for example, let's fire up calc. Boom. There we go.
Yeah.
Notice how fast that is.
Yes.
Linux Mint is so much faster than Windows. Anyway, there we are, a spreadsheet. All the normal
Fantastic.
tools at the top there.
Yeah.
Some of them will be in a different place. The odd thing that you used to do on Microsoft Excel, you'll think, oh, how do I do that? There'll be a way. And you've got Google to ask, of course.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Okay, and
Not-
all windows are the same. You've got your close, your minimize, maximize button at the top there. You've got your minimize down to the toolbar, and there it is there.
When it's installed, everybody's got to have a play with it and get used to the new setup.
That's it.
Yeah.
The beauty of Linux Mint is it's very familiar to a Windows user. It's not going to take them long. Even somebody decrepit like me can sit there and think, oh yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't be frightened of it. Don't be frightened of it. Yeah. So
No,
if you've
no.
got somebody that's installed it, or you've
Yeah.
sat with your neighbour who's a bit of a whiz.
That's it. Now the beauty of Linux Mint, I mean, you might be happy with this look. You think, yeah, that suits me fine. All this here, I'll explain what this little box here is in a minute.
Okay.
But you might think, oh, it's a bit boring. Fancy changing it up a little bit. With Linux Mint, you can totally customize it.
So you're quite excited about
Yeah.
this, Christopher.
And in one of the future shows, I'm going to show you
Ooh.
how to make it look really cool, with lots of shortcuts and stuff like this, and pretty things and that, and make it look really cool. You can't do that in Windows. You can customize it in as much as like your screensaver, your desktop, and all that kind of stuff.
This is more flexible.
Oh, anything.
Flexible
You can
because you're
change-
not tied into.
You can change absolutely everything.
Fantastic.
The thing with Linux Mint and Windows is that I liken it like this. Microsoft Windows is
Yeah.
like you renting a nice posh apartment, fully furnished, but you only rent it and the landlord has keys and he's allowed to come in any time he wants, mess things up,
And you have to
and
live
have a
by
look at
his
what
rules.
you're doing, and have a look at what you're doing, and he can do that any time he likes. Linux Mint is like owning your property. Okay, nobody else has keys, only you. Nobody can see what you're doing. You're not nagged by updating, changing. You just do what you want to do.
Why haven't we done this
your
before
house.
Windows 10 was a
Yeah.
shutdown? Why don't we?
Yeah.
We should have all done this before, really. If it's,
Well, Windows 11 has caused the latest version, because I don't know if you know, but every sort of 6 months they push out a new update for a big one for Windows 11. Now the latest one is really getting a lot of people annoyed because so much of your information is getting sent back to Microsoft. And I'm not saying they're doing anything bad with it, but
Yeah.
it's just they don't ask, they just
No.
do it. Whereas Linux, none of that happens. It's totally private. It's up to you.
Good.
In our next show, I'm going to show you how to add some little toys on your desktop that are really cool. Great fun.
Okay. Yeah,
Great
looking
fun.
forward to that.
I just looked in the gallery and the directors just fell asleep, so I think it's time I wrap this up.
Thank you.
Sorry, I hope you all haven't fell asleep yet. So next show we'll have a little bit more
Thanks.
tinkering.
Thank you for coming in, Chris, and thanks for explaining that. I think I followed that 99.9%. Hopefully you're with me on that one. And look forward to seeing you next time on Tech Talk for Christopher's little exciting
Yes.
backdrops that we can do on it. See you next time on Tech Talk. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.